everybody, to the Shambam podcast. Late start, as I said, on the Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, go ahead and do that, Shambam Pod. I was gonna start off with a question, and then I forgot what the question was that I was gonna start off at. Oh, by the way, what episode? I'll just put it in the title. What episode number we're in? And I think it has something to do with I want to improve the listener, what is it called? Interactivity in the podcast. You know, I wanted to ask a question, get you guys to leave it in the comments, but I forgot what the question was, but I think it was somewhere in the field of what do you think is the best way to market anything that you're doing? Whether it's like a small business you have, music, a podcast in this case. Because I would like ideas, and I'm like thinking, like, why would I ask that? Like, thinking everybody who listens is like a marketer and knows something about the world, you know? I don't know. I know I've done research, but I don't implement it, probably because I'm a very introverted person. So I did get a comment on Instagram asking who the guest was going to be for this week. And here he is. It's a nice cup of coffee. This is a delicious cup of coffee, by the way, with the ground beans. Just made it, and it's fabulous. Yeah, I haven't got a guest in the pod for a while. The reason being is because I did like slow down. As I did mention before, I slowed down a little bit with the podcast because I'm trying to like allocate more time. Open up more time for other things. School. I'm back to school, and I forgot how much work it is to juggle work and school at the same time. So I got a lot of work I got to do today, but I'll get it done. I've recently started implementing actually having a good schedule to tackle throughout the week, so as to not overwhelm myself and also not feel like I'm not getting, you know, as much as I want done. I feel like making a calendar works twofold. One, you actually start making good progress, steady amounts of progress, and organizing your life. And two, that little organization and the progress, that those goals that you start checking off, it's like it's satisfactory to know that you're achieving things, you know? It's like little wins that you get throughout the week, and I think it helps you boost your morale. One thing I do want to start getting into doing is waking up at the butt crack of dawn, at least 2 hours before work. That way I get an hour to like get ready. Meaning like, by get ready, like just get myself, it doesn't take me like a freaking whole hour to get some clothes on and go to work. Here, I want to adjust the camera real quick a little bit, because I'm very, what's the word? I don't know. I'm very, like, meticulous about that. I moved it, like, a little crack to the right. It's so dumb. But anyway, it doesn't take me that long, but I just want to kind of, like, wake up, feel energized. I want to actually work out in the mornings, do a little exercise routine, and then read a book. For at least, I'm going to start slow and say for at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That some of you are probably laughing, but I know myself. And I want to get up to, you know, bring that number up a bit, but just like at least 10 minutes of undisturbed reading time, I think is good. That might be overdoing it. Maybe I need to start with 5. I don't know. Nah, I can do 10. Anyway, off to a hot start. I did take a week off, and then I almost took this week off, but then I was like, no, the most I'm gonna take off is 1 week at a time. That's why I was committed to making an episode today. Had a fun weekend though. Went shooting. Realized how bad I am at shooting. I gotta really practice more. But it was a lot of fun. I do have a couple notes I did want to talk about a little bit. A while ago, I did talk about how, and this is just to get it out of my head so I can Carry On, Over the Rainbow, Somewhere. That song was, I talked about it, it was a cover. It was a cover song, and I never knew that it was a cover song. And it was, I couldn't remember who the original artist was, but I was listening to oldies right now as I was doing some schoolwork, and it popped up, and then I was like, oh, sick. It's Judy Garland. She's the one, I think. She might have covered it for somebody else. I don't know, but those are oldies, so that was definitely before Ziggy sang it. So, is that his name? Or is that what I know he had like a super long name, but I think his nickname was Ziggy, right? Let me see. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. IZ. Well, anyway, Israel. Kamakawiwole. I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, Judy Garland, man. I believe she's the original author. Credit where credit is due. Same with Siamese. Their song Summer Nights, which was one of my favorite songs that they've put out, is also a cover. I'm pretty sure I covered this as well. Talking about it. And but they still add their own flair to that, you know what I'm saying? They add their own flavor. I listened to the original work of Summer Nights, and it was good. I think I enjoyed it more because, or maybe I didn't enjoy it as much because I already knew Siamese's rendition of it first, so I kind of attributed it to them instead of the original. But I appreciate the work that it took to get the song structure, the melodies, you know, the actual structure of the song. It, of course, makes it much easier for people covering it to actually do it. And it's a little more difficult, too, I think, to make it more original, because then you have the original already in your head, so it kind of becomes hard to veer from the path of the original. But anyway, yeah, today is going to be a short episode because I do have a lot of work I got to do after this. Give me some good marketing stuff that you believe is a good thing. What kind of ads do you like to, do you not mind watching on YouTube and on Instagram? Which kind of ads do you like stick around for? Maybe I can like use that to kind of formulate the way I promote the pod. Very on the low key because I don't want to get a nosebleed out of it right now. Trying to juggle the world, you know. Put that in the comments. Send me a DM. You know where to find me. It's going to be on the description, so you got no excuse. Send me a DM, hit me up, put in the comments, whatever. I want to hear from my listeners. Anyway. It's good coffee. Shoot. Had another nosebleed. What was I saying? Wow, I forgot. I just hate when that happens, man. My brain just... Oh, yeah, okay. So, last week's episode was talking more music biz. I was trying to be more on the... I'm trying to keep this structure going of more professional stuff and then more just chill stuff. That's today. That's why I kind of am not caring about the whole brain fart that I'm getting right now and just spewing out whatever's in my head, because that's the time for this. This is the time for that. I mean, this is that chill, just conversational podcast episode. Yeah, what I was going to say, like, I hate how my mind just races like that, but you already know that. I have been watching a lot of Michael Reeves. Speaking of, like, which, I'm wearing, like, the glasses right now. I didn't even do it on purpose for any particular, it wasn't for like a look or anything. Since I stare at screens all day, since my work requires me to stare at a screen, and then I come home and then I do homework, or I play video games, or I watch TV don't go out much. Back then, I didn't have an excuse. Now I do because of COVID and all that. Um, but yeah, I stare at screens a lot, and it's more preventative. I had a buddy at work ask me like, "Are those prescription?" They're not. They're not prescription. They're just blue light. They're just blue light filter lenses, and I don't know if it helps me too much. In terms of like noticeable differences, because we all know the common things about blue light is, I believe it makes you more irritable, maybe. I don't know, but I know that it takes away from your sleep. Your sleep cycle gets messed up. Um, your eyesight, just in general, as time goes on, gets a little worse and blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, more preventative. I know I haven't been sleeping great. I always have trouble sleeping, but I feel like that's more of a mood thing. I think that also is it, though. I think it does affect your mood, which can in turn or compound double the factor with the whole sleep thing. But yeah, so that's why I put them on. I had another buddy at work that got lenses as well. So for the same reason as I am. So here we are being responsible, trying to take care of our eyes for our old selves in the future. Um, but yeah, I feel like people might think I'm trying to make a look, man, trying to be like hipster, trying to be nerdy. I'm a programmer, y'all. No, but talking about Michael Reeves, I've been watching. I watch OTV once in a blue moon, because it's entertaining, mainly because Michael Reeves, he's just really funny, and he does coding, so like I'm just interested in that field already. Um, and I watched also Ray Studio. Go ahead and give him a follow. He's like a Gumpla. From what I understand, from what I've the bulk of the videos that I've watched from him, he's mainly a Gumpla YouTube channel creator, a Gumpla creator, and emphasizing more on like the custom builds and the painting and all that. And like his work is amazing, and I envy his skill in that. But he recently made he had like a robot dog. It wasn't quite like the Boston Dynamics dog that like OTV has, but it's like a cool little dog, right? And then he made like an armor for it, like a gun or sci-fi like armor for the dog, which I thought looked sick. And then that got me thinking of like, it'd be crazy if they did some sort of crazy collaboration together, and then they made like a mini Gundam robot that can actually like move, small scale or whatever. But I was like, dude, Michael Reeves needs to collab, because Michael just needs to freaking program this thing, and then Ray Studio can just build the freaking model, dude. That'd be sick. And then like imagine like little BattleBot matches with these little Gundams. That'd be freaking epic. You get all the weebs going in, myself included, to freaking get front row seats to watch Gundams actually fight in real life. That would be awesome. Because all the BattleBots that I watch, not that I watch on a regular basis, but whenever I stumble on it, I think I stumbled on it once on that one episode that was my most popular episode for some reason. It's just like these boxes, these toasters with knives, basically, that just collide into each other and blow up. It's fun to watch. The physics of it is like they always got like a weird hook that as soon as it makes contact, it'll like launch forward or up into the sky, flipping their opponent, and all that. Like hammers and Beyblade spinners with knives on the ends, things like that. It's cool. It's cool and all, but I personally got really bored really quick. I used to be infatuated with the idea of BattleBots back in the day. I'm channeling, trying to get to the bottom of where did my love for like mechs and Gundams come from. I like Beyblades, man. Beyblades were my thing. I said it. I attributed those spinny blades to Beyblades, and now I'm thinking about the times I used to get Beyblades all the time. You'd get those super cheap ones from like the dollar store. that would just be like super bulky and just would not spin good. I remember when you would get a legit one, it was like top quality toy, man. Something about it. But anyway, um, yeah, I used to like the idea of BattleBots much. I remember there being a time where I was like, oh my gosh, BattleBots are crazy. I hadn't seen any videos, but just the concept itself really interested me. And then I never watched it. I grew up, and then I got interested, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Let me see if I can find a YouTube video on it. And then I was, yeah, very underwhelmed. But hey, I'm not in that world, so I don't know. But that'd be something crazy, man, if we get like super crazy Gundams miniatures, like even just this size, right? Let's get a Gundam like this. Program a frame. All the programmers are probably like, dude, do you understand what it takes? It's probably so freaking complicated. That's why no one's ever done it. Of course, that's such a popular idea. Why am I acting like I'm the only one who's thought about this? That is such a popular idea. But getting that freaking... They barely made a dog. Something that looks like... Well, kind of moves like a dog. People would be raving the second like a humanoid skeleton robot would start walking and say, this is the end of the world. You know, this is when it happens. iRobot, right? That'd be crazy though, man. I'd tune in. I'd tune in for sure. I'd probably be in that industry. I'd be a programmer, get my computer science degree, and all I'd be doing is coding these battle bots, Gundam bots, into action. Anyway. No, but I've been watching a lot of that. I think there's a couple like people that I watch, more like entertaining stuff, like comedy stuff that a lot of my peers don't find as funny as I do. And I know like there's probably a lot of people like that, but like the Hodge twins, I really enjoy the comedy, even though they're vile as heck. It's hilarious. Hey, funny's just funny, you know. If it's funny, it's funny. But Michael Reeves is one of those where a lot of people I show a lot of people his stuff, and then they don't share the same feelings that I do. But I think one of the things I think that makes Michael Reeves funny to me is for some reason he reminds me a lot of Josh, just the way he acts. And like little weird mannerisms that like it could be like the way he just like stands or moves in a certain direction. It just looks so reminiscent of how Joshua would do things. And I personally find Joshua hilarious, so that might be where that came from. But I think that's why I enjoy watching Michael Reeves. Yeah. And the only reason I watch OTV is because of Michael, man. Well, I think the first time I actually stumbled upon OTV was I was watching the Misfits podcast, RIP. I believe their podcast is down now for some reason. I don't know what the reasoning was. But I was watching the Misfits or listening to the Misfits podcast, and they had Pokimane on there. And I didn't know who Pokimane was. I knew who she was because I watch YouTube, you know, and she was popular and people would talk about her. All the scandals. For some reason, Pokimane was always like in trouble. For some reason, one reason or another. So she would always show up. So eventually I attributed the face that I would see in thumbnails and then the name. So then I understood who Pokimane was. So then I was listening, and then they talk about Pokimane as a guest, and I was listening, and then she was talking about TV and blah, blah, blah. The streamer house that they got. And then I was like, oh, cool, that's awesome, right? And then I didn't really watch too much, or I don't think at all, until Michael Reeves joined the gang. And then I remember, it was crazy because I remember watching Michael Reeves a long time ago. Just when he was just an individual little boy, you know, making his robots and stuff, his useless things, and then being like, yo, this is hilarious. Like, this is really good. and then I never seen him again, right? And then out of nowhere, like he shows up here, and then I was like, wait a minute, I know that face. And then I did more research and I found those old videos that I had watched from him, and I'm like, wow, that's the same dude. What a small freaking world. But eventually I started watching it because Michael was in it, and then I kind of started liking just the rest of the people there. I kind of really like I feel like I'm standing like it's some sort of like boy band, and I'm like the girl who's fangirling over the members. What the freak am I doing, man? Hey, it's chill. It's on my head right now. Um ah jeez. I don't understand me sometimes, but I really like I like the boys, man. Toast. His humor is probably not widely accepted, but I think is hilarious. I feel like he always tiptoes on the edge of stuff. And that's such a scary thing to do, especially in this time where the United States is just so privileged that we have to like be worried about all these other things because we don't have any real problems. So comedy is like one of those things where it's a slippery slope, you know, because I feel like it's still alive, because the argument that comedy is comedy and you know dark topics are comedic because they're dark and all that stuff, it's still holding. People are still kind of understanding it. But I mean, tons of people get canceled all the time. Still, comedians have been getting canceled left and right, but he tiptoes on that edge. Also, Michael does it a little bit, but I feel more from Toast that he does it way more often. And honest, in my opinion, it's funny. It's funny, and I like it. And I don't see people actually. I mean, I don't. I never. So they're Twitch streamers, the majority of them. I think Toast is like Facebook or something. But I don't really watch, you know, like Twitch, like live or anything like that. I just watch like the clips on YouTube, mainly. Yeah, I'm not a big Twitch viewer guy. I did Twitch. I like have my own channel. Also, my buddies have channels, so follow Zay on Twitch. I'll probably put that in the description. Just a nice plug for my buddies. And Hungry Hut. What's it? What are the? Here, I'm gonna look it up right now so I can get it accurate. Twitch. So I can get it accurate, man. Yeah, I'm not a big. Oh geez, no, please no. Here, I'm gonna mute this tab so that way no pop-ups, no pop-ups are gonna like start playing audio. Anyway, yeah, man. So let's look it up. Where is he? Here, I follow them, so I should be able to see them. So Zay, ZAYYE _ if you're on Twitch, give him a follow. And what was his name? I don't want to like name drop them either because, well, I mean their names are on freaking Twitch, right? Where is he? Where is he? I can't find him. My boy, where'd you go? Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. Why don't I guess I never followed him. Sorry, dude. I thought I did. I could have swore. It's like Wompers. Wompers. Womps. Damn. Anyway, I'll find them later and I'll put them in the description. Yeah, I'm not a big viewer. I'll tune into their channels every now and then whenever I'm like in the vicinity, but I'm not a big viewer. So I don't actually watch their stuff, like, in terms of life. Anyway, I'm stuck into that topic for too long. And this is my problem. I'll stick to something like that, and then I forgot where I was going with it. Like, just happened right now. Maybe if I take a sip of coffee. That might do it. But, toast, like the dude. Skara seems really cool. Skara just seems like a cool guy I like to hang out with, you know what I'm saying? And then it just got me thinking, like, it's super weird, you know, there's been all the talk about forming parasocial relationships with these big personalities. And it's so great. It's very interesting because I feel like the main reason that happens, right, is because they're being themselves. Not really, because it's more of a personality that they put on for the cameras. But you associate that person with the personality, so you believe you know that person. And I feel like maybe since they get, so like, for example, Toast gets more edgy with this comedy, that's not something that a random person would do. So, like, say I meet somebody, right, new. They're not going to come straight off the bat just with some weird dark humor. I mean, they could try, but chances are it doesn't really end like well, right? Like, it's not, I'm gonna think they're weird or whatever, be like, yo, that person was kind of odd. But then if I have a friend who I've known for a long time, then he comes in with some like dark humor, it probably crept up there, you know. I probably saw the signs, and then I find it funny because I know who he is, right? So maybe that's why it's so easy for people to fall into that parasocial relationship like trap and make it so awkward. What is, like, how do you know, what is the line that must be crossed for you to for it to be deemed a parasocial relationship? You know, like, let's look up the definition. Parasocial relationships. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Parasocial relationships are most common with celebrities, organizations such as sports teams or television. So, sports teams, man. Yeah. Crazy diehard sports team fans that'll get in fights with one another at a pub because they don't like the team that each one of them is married to. That's crazy. Okay, so I guess it's safe to assume that once you... I don't even know. You know? Because, like, there's people... Because I feel like there might be some people, myself included, I'm thinking, like, whoa, do I have a parasocial relationship with these people, you know? So I'm trying to analyze it. Because, like, I'm trying to analyze it here, man. You gotta help me out. Put in the comments, what do you think is a line? It seems like you are, I don't think I am. No, I honestly don't, because, like, this makes it seem like it's a one-sided relationship where one person extends emotional energy. I don't think interest really sits well with the definition because people are interested in celebrities all the time, you know? You have favorite celebrities, favorite sports teams. It doesn't mean you have a parasocial relationship. I think emotional energy, maybe persona is completely unaware of the other's existence. Or is this more of like everyone has a parasocial relationship with a given celebrity or a given thing or person, so as long as it's only one person conveying that emotion, right? So as soon as I show interest in George Clooney, right, I put some time in by watching his movies, emotional energy by just like liking his movies, I don't know, but he doesn't know I exist. That in itself is a parasocial relationship. Sick, man. Timers work beautifully. I gotta wrap it up in a bit, but you know, is that where the actual damage is done? Is in not damage, but maybe it's more of like a level, right? Like don't get to 100%. Like maybe most people are at like the maybe 20% margin safe, you know, and then we got a ton of people are crazy in the 70, 80, 90%. I don't know. It's a nice food for thought, you know? Not really. But this is how my mind works. I dissect the topic that really does me no good. You know, what am I going to do with this information? I'm not going to write a paper about it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this week's episode. I really appreciate every single one of you that actually tunes in, watches the show. If you enjoyed it, God bless. I really appreciate it. And it gives me joy to know that I did a good job. If you guys want to keep up with the latest and greatest, to know of any announcements or whatever, follow me on Instagram. It's going to be down below, Shambam Pod. I told you what to give me, comment or whatever, DM, whatever the heck. I'm going to stop talking now. Yeah.